Hi guys, it's episode 23 of the Revive Yourself podcast. Here we go.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Have you got a health issue that just won't go away no matter what you try? Then welcome to the Revive Yourself podcast, where we reveal the secrets to long-lasting health by getting to the root cause of problems that no one else is talking about. So you can have more energy, clear skin, healthier hair, a leaner physique, more confidence, and most importantly, do the things you love and live the life you deserve. Here's your host, Ryan Martin.
So guys, welcome to episode 23. Hope you're all doing well. As always, got some really good feedback on the last show with Doug Kaufman. Everyone absolutely loved it, and it's actually opened a lot of minds. That's what we do here, opening minds and changing lives. So it's really good to get that feedback. I'll pass it on to Doug, and I know we'll definitely get him on again. Moving on to this week. Actually, just before we do that, I just want to say, got a great response. A lot of people now joining up for the 3-4 day Total Gut Revival mini course. As always, if you want, or if you're interested in that, send me an email at ryan@reviveyourself.co, or you can hit us up on our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook. We're under Revive Yourself. It's a picture of me. It's the same symbol as you got on the podcast. That's our Facebook page, and also we're at Revive_yourself on Instagram. So find us there, and anything you need, any questions, anything you got regarding health, any questions you got regarding that, send them to me. We'll get them answered. As I've said before, the program, the free mini course, anyone who's got digestive issues, IBS, Crohn's, celiac disease, skin issues, brain fog, adrenal problems, thyroid issues, whatever chronic issue they've got, this course explains exactly what's been going on, exactly what you need to do to get through it, and how you can put this behind you. I know how bad it is, and to go through health issues. Having suffered for 5 years myself, and I wish there was something like this that I could have gone through free and just listen to exactly what's going on. And I've been getting questions asking if I do work with people online. All our courses are online, so I have clients all around the world: Australia, America, Croatia. We've got some, obviously, different places, obviously up and down the UK, but got them all across Europe, Spain, etc. So, yep, we work with people all over. So, if you have got an issue and you have got a problem that you'd like to discuss, then don't be afraid to hit up the mini course, or just send us an email and we can book in a free 20-minute health audit just to see what's been going on, dig into your issues, and to map out a plan. As for today's show, guys, it is with Lenny Gale of www.lifeisnoyoke.com. This episode is a bit more of a chilled one. Lenny and his wife have been basically going about their business, making smoothie recipes and everything to do with Vitamix for the last 5 to 10 years, I think it is now, and they've literally been helping everyone. Generally, what happens is people buy a blender and they use it for a month and then they don't stop using it. Well, what Lenny and Gail have done, they've created a website where they go into showing you exactly all the different recipes you can make, different smoothies, soups, dips, nut butters, etc. And we go deep into that, and it's a really fun episode. Lenny is a really good guy. He's actually got a really good radio voice, a bit like Doug. I think I might up my game here. I meant to change my voice because these guys have got great voices, and he's a really good guy. So the similar journey. They both were stressed out working corporate jobs, and they had to change, and this is what they've done now. So we talk all about smoothies, their journey to health, why they're vegan, and we touch on actually quite a lot of different topics. So without further ado, here's Lenny, here's the interview, guys, and I'll see you on the other side. Hi guys, and welcome to episode 23 of the Revive Yourself podcast. Today's guest is Lenny Gale from LifeIsNoYoke.com, and obviously Life Is No Yoke. So Lenny's going to be talking all about his journey into health and how he actually conducts his recipes into Vitamix, etc. So big welcome today, Lenny. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. So whereabouts in the USA, just for our listeners, are you talking from today?
Yeah, we're based out of Chicago.
right, another person in Chicago, and there's a few places I really want to go. I've done a lot of America. A lot of my guests are actually from America, but Chicago's on my list for next year. It's I've heard such good things.
Yeah. If you don't have a trip planned already, you probably want to wait until next summer.
Yeah, of course.
It's like there's like summer Chicago and winter Chicago, and they're two different worlds. Summer is the most wonderful place. It just not only obviously the weather, but people are they're out and they're happy, and there's an energy that's really tough to replicate. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, it's been my friends actually. My parents have been to Chicago. They loved it. They went in the springtime, so it was really nice. And one of my friends went. His sister was actually at university out there, college, as you guys call it. And he went in the winter, and and he said he'd never been so cold in his life. It was like minus silly degrees. I think he was going out in like one of those Russian hats that I think people get. So but it does seem like a very, very cool city and somewhere I really want to explore. Have you been there? How long have you been there for?
Well, it's funny because I've been here for 10 years, and we're actually moving back to our hometown. My wife and I, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's a state just like 400, maybe you guys. Everyone should do kilometers. It's probably 700 kilometers northwest, and that's where we grew up. So we've been here for 10 years, but the Minnesota is kind of like a smaller version. Minneapolis, Minnesota is kind of like a smaller version of Chicago. Lakes and moderate weather, 4 seasons, and just friendly people.
Yeah, is that why you're moving back? More moderate weather?
No, it has nothing to do with the weather. Both of our folks are from there, and we're having a baby in November. So
congratulations!
Thank you. So we're going where there are extra hands for us to get some help.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Two of you. So Lenny actually runs the site Life Is No Yoke with his wife Shalva. Have I said that right?
Shalva.
Sorry, Shalva. Yeah. I was actually, before we got on air, I actually just wanted to make sure I said it right and practiced, and obviously I got it wrong. So I apologise to your wife.
Yeah, you did it right the first time, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, he's telling me it means tranquility in Hebrew. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and he obviously gets lots of tranquil time with his wife, as we can all. But so they're a husband and wife combo, and they run the site. And they're actually, if you go on their site, you can actually see they're called Mr and Mrs Vitamix, or Vitamix, as you might say over there. So just tell me a little bit about your guys' story and how you got into, like, how you created Life Is No Yoke, and basically your journey into health.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's a story that everyone can relate to that's working in the corporate world. Overworked and not taking care of yourself. And that was me. I was doing a traveling consulting job. I was eating terribly. I was drinking a lot. I wasn't exercising. And I was miserable. And I needed to find not only a cure or a fix for my health, but I needed to find my life's work. And I figured, why not? Like, it made sense to have them be both. Once I started to make changes in how I ate and my mindset and how I was moving around, I felt so good and wanted to, like I said, make it my life's work. So the way that I did that is I got back into smoothies, and I had done that a little bit in high school to kind of for sport, to like build up muscle. And I got back into smoothies. Green smoothies. I did a little protein shakes, and I started this thing, Life Is No Yoke. And I figured this would be a place for me to help people along their journeys, kind of like with me, and to really, I just feel so good, and I want to be able to bring that feeling to as many people as I possibly.
Just lost you there, Lenny. Just as many people as possibly can. Is that what you said?
Yeah, no, I want to. I feel so good, and I want to bring that feeling to as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah. No, and is your wife's story a similar one?
Yeah, it's similar. Well, she joined Life Is No Yoke about a year ago, and her story is similar. She was in a corporate job, and she was she was a vegetarian, but all she ate was grilled cheese and Caesar salad and pasta. And, she really had a connection to food, a way to sort of self-heal. And we started dating, and one thing led to another. She got into the smoothies, and she got into this lifestyle. And I said, hey, like, can I get your help? Can you do one project with me? And one thing led to another, and now she's full time. Her and I, and this is what we do. We've found that the more specific we can be, and the more direct our message can be, which is to just blend something every day, then the more benefit that people can get from our work.
Yeah, no, and like what you said there about your journey. But you mentioned two things there actually. Your wife being vegetarian, and your journey. For example, when you said when you started to do smoothies, to basically put good stuff in your body. That's one of the things I always try and tell my clients. Like it's almost subtraction by addition. When you keep on putting the good stuff in, and you feel full up, you need to put less and less bad stuff in. It's one of the ways it work. If you can keep putting in high quality nutrient dense foods, your body really recognises them. You get full very quickly, and you actually don't afterwards. You don't actually need the bad foods. And with your wife there, you mentioned her being vegetarian but eating grilled cheese and pasta. So a lot of people with diets, they think like just being vegan and vegetarian, they're healthy, but a lot of them are still eating wheat, gluten, like soy, and caffeine and everything like that. It's the same with people with paleo. I mean, I'm not going to get here to dig out paleo, but there's two different paleo diets. There's people eating grass-fed, pasture-raised animals, and if you're vegan, I know you guys are vegan, so we'll touch on later. But if they're eating, some people eating the highest quality animal produce they can, loved and nurtured. And other people are sitting there eating cocktail hot dogs and chorizo, thinking that that's good because it's paleo.
Right.
So there's always levels and stuff, and that's something that you found. So
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, so just for people out there, what is Life Is No Yoke?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. What do you? Okay, so Life Is No Yoke is well, what does it mean, or what's our site?
What is your site? What do you guys do? Who do you help?
Yeah.
Let's go into it. Let's get into the bones.
Yeah. We help people use a blender to make something every day, to help with their meal planning, to help people who are picky eaters, who have children who are picky eaters. We help with people with ailments, so weight loss, so the common Western diseases, diabetes, heart disease, cancer. We don't focus specifically on the medical stuff, but we know that food is medicine. And the catch-all, and I said it before, but the thing that we find is covers everything and is the easiest to do. It's the best way to get momentum in the morning and to start your day on the right track is a daily blend. And we help people use a blender, specifically a Vitamix. We work with Vitamix. We help people use their Vitamix. We help people buy their Vitamix, and we help people use their Vitamix and get the most out of their investment and the sort of the greatest change and impact in a positive way on their lifestyle.
No, fair enough. So, I mean, that's brilliant, because I was going to mention a lot of people will buy a Vitamix or they buy something like that, and they use it for the first few weeks, and then it just sits there. They don't really use it that much, but probably because they use the same recipes over and over again. So you guys come up with new recipes every week, is that correct?
Yeah, we have new recipes every week, and we have a whole library of wonderful, wonderful recipes. They're all plant-based, and it's more than smoothies, and it's more than green juices that we make every morning. We do these wonderful things. We have our famous queso. It's a warm or hot cheese dip, all plant-based. It's got a kick. It's wonderful. So other dips, we make hummus. We make salsas in our Vitamix. And these types of things really change the way that you snack. So instead of grabbing some chips or some crackers or something like that, now you have these wonderful dips that are great with vegetables. So that's the snacking. And then for dinners, we make wonderful soups, hot soups. We have a creamy wild rice soup that we love making, a balsamic butternut squash soup. And then desserts, we have wonderful frozen desserts, ice creams that you can make in your Vitamix. Really getting more from your investment. And, you can make a gazillion things in this thing. And we want to show people all the things that they can do with it. But at the same time, we want to focus on getting started on the right foot and building momentum with something simple, a juice, a smoothie, starting. I mean, that feeling that when you put the good stuff in your body, you start to feel better, and you can really feel the good fuel that you have in your system.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when it comes to, I deal with a lot of people who've got all sorts of different chronic issues, especially gut issues, skin issues, and a lot of them, they can't digest certain foods, they've got food intolerances, and having food that's been pre-digested helps a lot. So when you got something being mixed for something like a Vitamix, to such an extent that it's just easy for the body to digest it, and because a lot of people struggle with digesting, assimilating, metabolizing, eliminating foods, so when you're actually giving it to the body and it hasn't got to do such hard work, anyone who's got intestinal permeability or got a very inflamed digestive tract, they struggle. So I mean, always soups, smoothies and juices are brilliant. And also, the other thing, people always say, I haven't got time, everyone's in such a rush these days. Well, the two benefits to something like that, I find, especially with my clients, is one, it's very, very quick to make. You put something in the blender, boom, 2 minutes, it's made. You can wash it up in about a minute as well. 5 minutes, you're all done. Second thing, I was going to say, was it doesn't actually, it gives your body a nice, if you're in a rush, it's already pre-digested, so your body hasn't got to work hard to digest it, which is another huge benefit. Did you found that to be something your clients quite like?
Yeah, definitely. It's, the time thing you talk about is definitely there, from the preparation and then from, the effort that your body has to go through. And I think from a dollar's perspective too, there's money to be saved. I mean, if you want, if you get a recommendation from someone like you, Ryan, and says, okay, you should be making, having a green juice or a green smoothie every day, and you go and purchase this out, this is going to be an enormous amount of money. And so to do it yourself at home is a huge savings of money as well. And, what was the other thing I was going to say? We like to make the point in that we recognize that a Vitamix machine, you said this is one of the most highly rated, high-end, high-performance blending machines, and we know that it's a huge investment. And we do our job. We work with Vitamix. Our job is to increase that value proposition and show you all the other cool things that you can do with it besides smoothies, besides juices. But we know that it all starts with smoothies and juices, from a recommendation like you, from a recommendation like me. And we know that it's a little scary to make a huge investment in a Vitamix. So people always ask us, do I really need a Vitamix to do all this? Well, the answer is no. You can have a very inexpensive machine to get yourself started. Are you going to get the same results as you would get in a Vitamix? No, it's not a commercial grade machine. These are the exact machines that are in quick serve restaurants. It might be a little less of a smooth consistency, but something. We just want people to get started, to get on that smoothie train, to get on the green juice train, because we know the magic of these green juices, the impact, immediate impact on your weight, on your energy, and just on your life. You just feel so good.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's I mean, there's nothing. Magic bullets on their own don't work. They have to work in conjunction with everything else. But it's having green juices, green smoothies, etc. And not just that. It can be a berry smoothie. It can be whatever. Getting concentrated nutrients into the body. There's a whole host of benefits that comes with that, and it's something that there's a lot of people out there. Oh, juice diets and smoothie diets are all a fad. Well, no. If you just sit there and have it all the time, and you're still like not sleeping properly, not getting any vitamin D, you're not taking care of your stress levels, you're not exercising, you're drinking rubbish water, etc., etc. They're not going to produce miraculous results on their own, but you combine it with everything else you've been doing right, and it's phenomenal for your body to get that concentrated blend of nutrients quickly and easily digested and absorbed and assimilated. So you've mentioned there about the investment for Vitamix. So Vitamix, along with I'll say a couple of other top end machines like Sage the Boss, I think, of Heston Bloom, and there's one other, but the Vitamix is a top end machine. It does cost a little bit of money, but it's a lifetime investment, right? These things, they don't break. You can put nuts and bolts in that, and it'll probably blend it up. You know, that's how good it is. So when did you start your journey with Vitamix? How did you two get involved with them, and what was the story behind that?
Yeah. Well, I want to reiterate that. I mean, what you're saying about these things last forever, it's so true. I mean, yeah, like they're backed by a long warranty. I think either a 5 or 7 or a 10-year warranty, and that's a full warranty. Shipping is covered both ways. Like anything happens, they'll basically pay to have it shipped back to them. They'll take care of it and send it back. But that's 7 or 10 years. These things last longer than that.
Yeah.
They know that. That's why they offer such a good warranty. And they also know that I think it's less than 1/2% of these machines get sent in for service over the lifetime of the warranty. They really do last forever. We get dozens of emails from people saying, "Well, I've had my Vitamix for 20 years, and it doesn't seem like it's ever going to break. I think I just want to get a new one because I'm tired. Like I want to look at something else." So that's a really good point about them lasting forever and sort of being a lifetime investment.
Well, I always say before you go, I want to to add to that as well. It's always I say very two things. It works both most things in life. You can get the cheapest, but very rarely a cheapest and best in the same equation. And secondly, if you buy rubbish, you usually buy twice or 3 times. When you buy quality, you buy them once. And as you say, people might want to get into it and see, buy something a bit cheaper to see if they like this. But the quality of the juices and the smoothies they've been making won't be up to the standard, so they're never going to really know if they like it. But as I said, it may be for someone who's a bit more into it. But I'd always say, if you're into your health, so having something like this in your kitchen is never going to be a bad investment.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Ryan, and I think it's still hard for some people to, they almost insist on making that mistake on their own and saying, hey, like, I'm still going to get a cheap one and see what happens. And that's why we say that's fine. Go ahead. Of course, you're best just buying something once instead of buying it 2 or 3 times. But your point is very well taken, and I appreciate that you recognize that. So how do we get involved with Vitamix? So this I remember so vividly. I was in an airport waiting to go home from a week at a client, and I was on the phone. I realized that Vitamix Corporation, they had an affiliate program. I was on the phone with them, finishing up the details, and it was a long week. I was exhausted and burnt out, and I said to the person on the phone, "I'm going to be your biggest affiliate that you have." And I was near tears. I knew that this was, I had already bought my first Vitamix after having a couple sort of cheap ones. When I wanted to really start taking this smoothies and juices thing seriously, I got the Vitamix. I was ready, and I knew what it did for my life. And I said to her, it was like the sky opened up. Like this was going to free me from this corporate job that was bringing me down, and this was going to be my life's work. This was the impact that I was going to make on the world. And as I say, the rest is history. We have a really great relationship with Vitamix. We get, we are not on site. We are not technically employees. We are affiliated with them. We're contractors. We're the only exclusive affiliates that you'll find. This is all that Shalva and I do these days. We make recipes in our kitchen. We make YouTube videos, post them to our YouTube channel. We help people find the one that they buy. We have a wonderful buyer's guide, and we offer deals. Since we have such a strong following, Vitamix Corporation gives us sort of exclusive deals to give to our people. So it's really a wonderful relationship. Every day, Shalva and I are so grateful for the opportunity to do the work that we do. We know that it makes an impact, and it's so specific. It's almost laughable how specific it is. But we just do Vitamix recipes, and we help people buy Vitamix, and that's what we do. And we know that we're the best at it, and we're proud of the work we do.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, I personally, I haven't ever, I've had people come up to me and ask me to promote this and that on my site. I'd only ever have things or promote things that I'd use myself or give to my family, both in terms of supplements and products. I don't ever push anything. I have full integrity. It's why I don't have one brand, because I know if that might have something good there, but something else might. Something like a Vitamix, and about 2 or 3 of the other machines, for example, whatever you want to call them, units, machines. I would happily say this is it's not sitting here advertising for Vitamix, but guys, it's my job as well if you're going to promote things that I think will benefit you, and having one of these machines is definitely a step forward, because you're buying quality, and it's going to really benefit you, your recipes, any sort of smoothies, etc. you could be making. But as you said there, it's very hard for me to, I say not very hard, but it'd be very, sorry, I'll put it another way, it'd be very easy for me just to take and sell whatever I wanted, and try and push whatever I wanted to make money. It's not what I do. Only things that are quality, and Vitamix is definitely a quality machine. It's why it's been around for so long. It's been around, and you say people have had them for 20, 30 years. I think I know someone in a gym near me, they actually have had their Vitamix for, I think it's 29 years or something like that. And it hasn't broken. So it's high quality, and the way you got into it is very specific. What you guys do. It is actually very, very. I think it's the most specific job I've ever seen anyone have. So especially just that one area. But when it comes to the deals that you guys get for these Vitamix, is there a code on your site? Is there anything I can give for my listeners to go in and to get a good deal for the machine?
Yeah, so we currently only have deals for the U.S. and Canada, right. But in the UK, we've been told that they're going to be opening it up for us soon. So I can give you our code, and that code should work in the UK soon. It's just a number. It's our special code. You can find it on our website. It's lifeisnoyoke.com. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, we want to just begin a connection, and come to us. We'll show you how to make a green juice in any blender. We'll show you the difference between a Vitamix and some other machines, and we'll show you what we're making every week. We send an email out every Saturday with brand new plant-based Vitamix recipes, with some personal updates, with some other things that we're enjoying. It's sort of our labor of love newsletter every Saturday, and we really just want to connect. Lifeisnoyoke.com, and when the day comes that we get deals for the UK, Ryan, you'll be the first to know.
Awesome. I think I might have to pop out to see you guys and do a little video or something with you.
We would love that.
That'd be awesome, so I can push it to the it'd be good, so we can get everyone involved and get them to see how you guys work. And because this is the thing, having different recipes and stuff. I actually really want to do this and probably create my own recipe book and stuff, but obviously you got so much going on, it's very, very hard. There's some really good recipes out there. How do you guys keep coming up with new recipes the whole time?
Yeah, so we work by category. Right. So we look at our recipe index. We have smoothies, juices, ice creams, nut butters, hot soups, salad dressings, and dips. And so we kind of just look at the index and say, okay, like, what do we need now? All right, we haven't done a smoothie in a couple of weeks. Let's do a new smoothie. We haven't done a nut butter in a couple of weeks. Let's do a new nut butter. So we're like every week we add 3 recipes to this recipe index, and we kind of just try and grow it evenly by category. And then the second way that we sort of think about it is we always try and solve a problem. Yeah, you can make up a recipe and, oh, this is delicious, but what problem does it solve? So we're always thinking, like, how does a particular recipe solve a meal planning issue? What's a soup? What's a hot soup or a stew or like a chili, that you can make that's easy, does not require a lot of prep, does not require a lot of extra pans, that you can enjoy and that lasts? Mm-hmm. How can we fix a problem for someone who's a picky eater who doesn't actually like bananas? Someone who wants to get more protein but isn't eating meat. What kinds of dark, deep leafy greens can we add to this particular green juice that's perfect for someone who's trying to max out their protein and not eat meat, or to get more fiber? And then we look at we think about flavor profiles. So we like to go out to eat, and there are classically trained chefs who have wonderful flavor profiles on their menu, and they're balanced to create a symphonic taste experience. We try and channel that inspiration for the things that we create.
No, awesome. If someone, for example, you mentioned earlier, I think, like the no cheese. Was that?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go into a few of these. What would be in that, for example? Can you tell us?
It's a secret. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
No, public. All of our recipes are public.
Right.
I'll tell you. Fine. So that recipe, our famous queso, is so popular and so delicious. Every time we serve it, and every time someone emails us, they say, "Hey, you should sell this. You should jar it. You should sell it." And we're like, "No, we don't want to do that. We just like to, create in our kitchen and tell you what to make. Go get a Vitamix and make it yourself." But this queso, it's nuts, it's a red pepper, and it's spices. It's so easy, so delicious, and it is the thing that we make after we go grocery shopping. Right. Every single time we come back from the store, it's like, all right, let's whip up some queso. That way we have something to dip our veggies in and something to grab if we need a snack.
100%. I know that feeling. Usually it's hummus and red peppers or something like that for me. But,
yep.
It needs to be done. So for someone who doesn't like bananas, right? So you're out there, you're making smoothies. We're going to go through it. You're making smoothies. I do like a banana in mine. I'm a fan. If I'm making like a more sweet smoothie, I'd say. If someone doesn't like bananas, what are other good fillers that they can use?
That's a great question. There's a couple. Frozen mango is wonderful to create a sort of creamy consistency. I don't think there's any other fruit, even fresh mango, that gets you that silky, creamy smoothie consistency. Mango.
Mm-hmm. Is it very sweet?
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah,
it's sweet. So if you don't like mango, or if you want an alternative as a filler, something with nutrients, squash.
Oh, okay.
If you cut it up, bake it, and then freeze it, it works kind of like a frozen banana. It gives you that creamy consistency, and you can't really taste the squash if you have, say, like a little slice of lemon or a little ginger, or even something sweet like an apple.
Okay. And what about things like coconut flakes? Should you ever use anything like that? Shredded coconut?
Yeah, we love coconut. Yeah, we love coconut flakes. We like all parts of the coconut. We don't use so we'll take coconut milk and freeze it into cubes and then put that into smoothies. That's wonderful. And then we also use coconut cream in like a frozen dessert. So we have it's a mango coconut sorbet. We call it Bermuda sorbet because we just like Bermuda and it kind of fits. There's mango and coconuts grow there, and it's a wonderful place. It's that combination, the coconut milk and the coconut cream and mango is wonderful.
I imagine that tastes good. So, right, we're going to go through it. I want you to give me. Well, we're going to talk about some of the stuff about the device for blending later on, but I want you to give me your best breakfast, lunch, and smoothie recipes for people. Your ones are the ones you think people would love.
All right.
Just go through.
Okay. Breakfast. Every morning we make a green juice. We use a green juice formula. And so we don't make it the same every morning, but it's the green juice. And so the formula there is, you want the detail?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. There's 3 parts. It's a little bit of fruit. So maybe some apple, maybe banana, maybe mango, maybe an orange.
One of each, or just one of them?
One of each. Again, it's kind of just whatever we have, but I almost always do a whole orange and a whole apple.
Okay.
And if I have banana and if I have mango, but fruit.
Okay.
Part 2 is greens. So kale, spinach, kind of whatever we have. A lot of greens. And then part 3 is seeds. So whatever seeds we have, if it's chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, I'll kind of just put a little seeds on top. So those are the 3 parts: fruit, greens, seeds. And then there's 3 little like secret keys to making this green juice perfect. Key number 1 is lemon. We put a little slice of lemon with the peel. The peel just tastes just like the lemon. Mm-hmm. That gives it like a citrusy sort of aftertaste. It's great. Secret number 2 is ginger. I mentioned it before. Ginger is a root and it's loaded with nutrients, and it gives it a wonderful aftertaste and sort of, I don't know how you describe what ginger tastes like, but it's wonderful in green juice. And then the third key is water and ice. Okay. You want to make it taste like juice and not just a blended salad. So you have to add a good amount of water, and then on top you want ice. Ice does a couple things. It makes it cool, and then also it's going to push everything down into the blade to sort of have the blend run most efficiently.
So just quickly, guys, a lot of you out there, if you're using NutriBullet or if you're using something like that, Ninja, they're not big enough. Lenny's just explained a lot of ingredients there, and if that's one of the good things about a Vitamix, Vitamix, whatever you want to call it, how you want to say it, between the English and American way of saying it. They are big containers, and you can get a lot in there. So that's one of the benefits. With the water, what would you say, about 400 ml, 300 ml?
Yeah, I think 5 actually. I mean, we probably. Yeah, no,
there's 2
a lot.
Of you, though, isn't there? There's 2 of you. You're having breakfast, 2 of you.
Totally, we do a full container, man.
Right. Okay.
Full container. I have like pictures on our Instagram of full 64-ounce container.
Yeah. Yeah. No. But as I said, they're making for 2, right? So for people out there, they could do 300. It should be okay.
Totally, and we are making for 2. The reason we always do a full container is like we know we can save it. If we don't have it all in that morning, we'll have it for a snack later in the afternoon, or we'll have it the next morning.
Yeah, 100%.
They last. Yeah.
So that was your
breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay. So
lunch.
Let's go.
Couple things. We have a detox salad that we make. It's a wonderful mix of cauliflower, kale, carrots, cabbage with an avocado dressing. It's one of those salads that you can eat so much of and feel the best kind of full. The full where you don't feel like you need to take a nap. The full where it's like, wow, I'm so full. I feel energized. And do you know that feeling, like the good kind of full?
Oh yeah, 100%. When you haven't had too much, you just feel, as you said, satisfied. You feel, and it's not. You don't even notice the food. One of the things you say that you shouldn't really, shouldn't notice food after you've actually eaten it. It should just be like part of it. A lot of people have problems digesting it, get bloated, but when you eat something good, it's just easy to digest.
Right.
So this is the salad you're making, right?
So it's detox salad. So the beauty of this is we make a giant batch, and this actually lasts the whole week. So we'll snack on this the whole week. Not every day, but the whole week we have it in the fridge.
Okay.
And then for dinner, our absolute favorite dinner right now is a creamy wild rice soup. It is glorious. It is, it's got a wonderful consistency. It's like, chunky is probably not the best word to describe it, but it's wild rice. It's made with cannelloni beans, I think, and cashews. And you got to sort of just see the picture and try it. This is, along with our queso, this is the recipe that we get the most emails raving about.
Okay, so let's go through that one more time. So you've got cashews in there.
Yeah, what is it?
I'm just trying to write it down.
Yeah. It's cashews. Mm-hmm. It's beans. I'm looking it up because I don't.
Okay.
Hang on.
So if you guys go to www.lifeisnoyoke.com, all the recipes are on there. I'm just trying to get Lenny's favourite ones because I'm sure the ones that he favours are going to be extremely tasty.
Yeah, Google it like I just did. Wild rice soup, no yolk. So it's wild rice. It's a little vegetable broth, celery, carrots, onion, mushrooms, cashews, and white kidney beans.
Oh, it looks really good. Yeah, it looks really good, guys. You need to go on there. Google it now if you can. Creamy vegan wild rice soup.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It does look really good. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look here. Where does it say? You said okay. You've got it all in there. Yeah. Have a look, guys. You're going to go through it. It says it's his favourite childhood soup.
So while we're Googling, Ryan, take a look at our queso. This is our most famous.
Right. Let's have a look. How are you spelling the queso?
Queso.
Queso. Yep. Queso, no yolk. Cashew queso.
Yep.
Nobody cares if it's cheese or not. That's what it says. It does look really good. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it does. That's what they said. No one cares if it's cheese or not. I'm not making up. The delicious, irresistible, and now legendary cashew queso. It does look really good. I'll have to try this one, 100%. And you've got everything there. Yeah, guys. If you are looking at different recipes, this is a brilliant place. In fact, I'm going to send some of my guys here, my clients here, this so they can get different recipes as well. It's really interesting, and all the videos are on here, guys, as well. So you can just watch and away you go. Do you have it with corn chips? You can have it with anything, really, can't you?
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, it does look really good. Nutritional yeast as well. You put in there.
Yeah, you're familiar?
Oh yeah. For vegans, etc. For B12, people, vegans need vitamin B12. It's very hard to find it, so that's one of the ways you can put it in there. Right, so got it here. Almond milk, nutritional yeast, raw almonds, raw cashews, red bell pepper, kosher salt, garlic powder, onion powder, crushed red pepper. Okay, so Lenny, are you Jewish by religion?
Yeah.
Okay, so kosher foods for you, kosher salt is important. For any of my guys out there, I'm guessing anything like Himalayan rock salt, etc. You can substitute it with that.
Totally, man. Yeah, we have a good friend of ours keeps strict kosher, an Orthodox Jew, and he makes this queso with a meat meal. For dinner, or you can kind of this queso allows you to do some things that aren't really allowed with real cheese. Mm-hmm. And that's the sort of the beauty of plant-based recipes. They're all, as he likes to say, they swing both ways. So you can have them with a dairy meal, and you can have them with a meat meal if your house keeps kosher.
Awesome. You guys, go on the site and have a little look around here. I mean, that soup, definitely just looking at this soup, it's got quite a few ingredients. And I mean, to be fair, I really enjoy cooking. It's something that it relaxes me. I can go in and cook. And this one here, the wild rice soup with So you've got a few different ingredients in there, but it's basically just soaking the cashews overnight, making the broth, and then chopping the veggies, adding the cream, mixing it all up, and away you go. It's not the hardest thing in the world, I'm sure.
Right, it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, people see it and it looks, because there's quite a few different stages to it. They go, I'll get overwhelmed, but literally, if you just follow it bit by bit, it's very, very easy. I'm gonna have to definitely try this. The soup looks really good. Is that mushrooms in there? Yeah, mushrooms. I do like a mushroom. Yeah. So yeah, that's brilliant. So we've gone breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Any suggestions for people out there? Like any advice you have for blending, about if people are just going to make their own recipes or just make their own smoothies, etc. I mean, any sort of order people got to blend in, or is it just sort of like any sort of little tips or hidden tricks that you guys do?
Yeah, my best advice when you're getting started is to follow a recipe, because I think there's room for failure with just kind of winging it, by guessing, by assuming and hoping that your machine will just do a magic trick and take what you put in it and turn it into something wonderful. You really do have to be mindful of what you're putting in it, as far as the ratio of liquid to solid or fleshy fruit to ice, and sort of the quantity of ingredients. If you can't put too little in, because it might not process all the way, and you can't put too much in necessarily, depending on what you're making. So follow a recipe, and that's what we do, and that's what a lot of other people do. Like, you can find recipes that work, so go with a recipe that you know works, that you know you're going to have success with, and resist the temptation to sort of freestyle at first.
Yeah. 100%, I get what you're saying. I mean, just honestly, guys, I just found the No Yolks chicken noodle soup. It looks phenomenal, and it's all got lots of 5-star reviews at the bottom. Oh, a couple of 4 stars. Well, some people, but that's them. And lemon and chicken wild rice soup. It all looks really good. Definitely gonna. Actually, the No Yolks chicken noodle rice. Definitely got some great recipes on here, guys. And as Lenny said there, try and stick to recipes to start with, because it's probably going to get your best tasting, and then you can start to, once you have that recipe, sort of, you can, if you think you need to add a little bit here, a little bit there. That's probably the best way to go about it, right?
Yes, definitely. And you start to build up confidence that you can kind of add something that you like, take away something that you don't like. Change the quantity, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. And with the, do you do your own bone broths or anything like that, or is it just mainly soups, smoothies? I mean, you said nut butters, dips, smoothies, soups. What were the other categories you do, Lenny?
Yeah, so dips kind of includes salsa. We make our own salsa, yep. Hummus, this queso, and then ice creams. So I think they're listed as frozen treats or frozen desserts on our site, but that's really your sorbet and your banana ice cream and sort of your berry ice. I mean, they're ice creams.
Yeah. What do you use in the ice cream? Is it generally frozen bananas, or what else do you use?
Yeah. So that's, I don't know if over here in the States they call that nice cream. Okay. So using frozen bananas instead of milk. And so we do that. We have a lot of really good nice creams. We also have really good sorbets, so ice creams that you can make without banana. The one that we're publishing this week, mango coconut sorbet, is wonderful. It uses that coconut milk and coconut cream. So lots of frozen desserts. The nut butters we talked about. Nut butters are such a great way to, again, of course, for snacking, for dipping, for spreading on a piece of toast or a bagel, or a muffin, or just sort of eating as is. It's a great way to sort of get the good fats and to get some good protein with some variety. We made an Asian themed peanut butter the other week, a Penang peanut butter, similar to a curry dish that we love. Awesome. We have a one we call monkey butter, is wonderful. And then also we have these little, comes to mind, I think they're called blueberry balls, or
right, like the protein, like these. I know what you mean. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly. They're like no bake, basically nuts and oats and dates, sort of blended up and rolled into balls. Absolutely wonderful. Great to make, great for snacking. We love those.
Is that your dog in the background?
Yeah, that's Lucy. Yeah, she's. If you go to our about page, you can see her.
Yeah, I see it, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was just looking here as well at the coconut ice cream. It looks really good. Maple syrup, vanilla, coconut milk, bananas, coconut flakes. It looks lovely.
Yeah.
Maple syrup or agave. Just to let my listeners know, I'd never promote agave syrup. Don't know if you know about it now. It's because if you ever look into it, it's no better than high fructose corn syrup.
Okay.
We actually had to throw out, like, when I was working for my, I used to work for a company doing nutritional stuff, and we had to throw out like £3,000 worth of it once we found out about it. So anyway, it's just a little insight. Have a little look in. But maple syrup, real good, and it does look phenomenal. The coconut ice cream.
I really appreciate that sentiment about the agave. I've always questioned it. It seems sort of too good to be true.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look more into it. But that makes a lot of sense. Why it just seems overly processed. Like, can't be that much different than high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, exactly. When we look, because we used to sell it, it was about 3 years ago. Not many people know. A lot of health sites promote it, and I can't bother to go on a one-man campaign and tell everyone to take it out. But if we're talking to you, just take it out. It's no good. Have a little look. I think McCullough did a really good article on it as well. A few other people did good articles on it. It's just no need for it. I'd rather, work going to it. Have a little look yourself. As I say to everyone, don't believe me, do your own research. But yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, banana ice cream, coffee ice cream. They got here pumpkin ice cream. Pumpkin ice cream, but that tastes a bit original. I'll have to give that one a go, I reckon. So Lenny, we've talked about the great things to mix in a blender.
Yeah.
What are the things to stay away from?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess agave.
Hey, definitely agave. I wouldn't blend that.
Okay, what things to stay away from?
What doesn't blend well? What can people straight away go? Oh, that's like, that doesn't mix well. That consistency, it's going to ruin people's dishes.
That's going to ruin people's dishes. I mean, really, you can blend anything. Where my brain goes is, what shouldn't you be blending from a health perspective? Mm-hmm. And I think that goes to agave. We tell people stay away from dairy. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I think.
Well, you guys are vegan, right? So you use basically. Yeah. So for me, like raw dairy, fermented dairy, very different to mass produced, homogenized, pasteurized. But I would say a lot of people don't do well on dairy anyway. But that's your choice. You'd see how you come with it. For you guys, so you're vegan. When did you guys go vegan? I mean, you haven't always been vegan, have you?
It's been a long journey, man. It's probably been 4 or 5 years in the making, right. And it's only officially as of maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months, maybe.
Right.
But it's just been a process, and that's what I tell people is, you can. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of videos about the factory farming industry, and there's a lot of information about dairy. There's a lot of information about poultry and about fish. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to take in, but I think you have to. If it's something that you're considering, you'll know, and your time will come. It's a progression. For me, I started to lose a taste for meat. I think it coincided with getting a dog, and I just kind of made the connection between an animal. I think, and then eventually I started to lose a taste for chicken, and then for fish, and then for eggs, and next thing I know, I'm vegan, and I've never felt better. My health has never been better from a medical standpoint. I give blood every 2 months as a rule. I love giving blood. I think it's the best thing anyone can do for society, for the world. They take your vitals when you go. My blood pressure, it was the first time that I could officially say, yeah, I'm vegan. I haven't eaten any animal product. Maybe eat an egg or like a bite of fish. But for the first time, officially vegan, my blood pressure was lower than it has ever been. I was shocked. And I will say that my iron levels are well above average. And I think that's a lot of people's concern as well. You have to eat meat to get iron, or you have to eat meat to get protein. You can get all that from plants without a doubt.
I've my stance on vegan is do whatever works for you. I know people that have thrived being vegan for a long time. I'm interviewed Leah Keith. She was vegan for 20 years and 25 years, and then the hair started to fall out and her teeth started to fall out. So she started to eat meat, and then she's never felt healthier. It's one of these things that, let's have a look. I'd say to people, like, going short-term vegan can be one of the best things you could ever do for your health. Staying away from meats, hard to digest meats, and it can be something that the body just goes, I need a break from that. It's phenomenal. Long term, it depends on you, your genetics, who you are. People need to realise that you're as different on the inside as you are on the outside. So depending on how you go, like Lenny, you might get a year, 2, 3, 5 years down the line and go, I really just fancy a bit of chicken. And it might not be a massive thing. This is where I don't like to get caught up in a dogma and be like, people seem to get on one diet and they're like, well, this is the be all and end all, it's really worked for me. But I know people that have cured cancer being vegan. I know people that have done it a completely different way. And so that's my thing with it. I'd say whatever works for you at the moment, go for it. And it's even someone like, I know people that have gone vegan for a year and been like, cool, and it's really worked for them and they come back on it. It's just, you listen to your body, and as you said, at the moment, you've never been healthier. Your blood pressure. I'm talking to both the vegans here and the people that are meat eaters. I think if you've got a fear-based dogma in either one of those, then you're going to have problems down the line, because you're never going to see your problems can come from the thing that you think is your strength. So for someone like yourself, brilliant. You listen to your body. My blood pressure's gone down. I feel got more energy. Like my statistics were great when I got taken. Phenomenal. That's the best way to do this, and that's coming from the horse's mouth. So he's Lenny's living it. He's living proof. And then if his body decides that it needs something else, then maybe down the line he'll change. But that's a great way to go about it, I think.
I think you bring up a really good point about listening to your body, and that's something that you're more able to do as you put better things into it.
100%. You become more. There's it's something that I actually want to do a little podcast on myself. It's about how when you start eating better foods, you start vibrating at a higher frequency. And this is, most people think woo-woo stuff, but you need to go and look into metaphysics and do some other study around this stuff. And you start vibrating at a different frequency. You start being more conscious, more aware, and things that you start to be much more in tune. When you've got a headache, or when you've got, when you're tired, you've got chronic fatigue, when you can't think properly, when you've got dandruff, something like that. These are not just random things that happen to us that we think and you can take a pill to get rid of. These are problems that are systemic, and there's a reason for that. You've probably had a poor food, you've not slept enough, you've not had enough water, you haven't had enough nutrient-dense food. And I always think, I'm one of the guys, and it comes from one of my mentors a few years back. He said, I was like, what happens if you're hungry? He said, well, what's the point of being full of nothing? And I was like, good point.
I like that.
Yeah. And I was like, and because fasting, as we know, it's got phenomenal benefits if you look into it. And if you're missing one meal, it's not the end of the world, And I always say, that's a good point. I mean, look, you got to live and you got to have some fun. But if I'm at the airport, for example, and I know there's nothing I can have, I'll just fast. I'll have a fasting tea or something until that. And that comes me being in tune with my body. I'm like, well, I know if I have that, I'm just not going to feel great. So it's something that you'll notice more and more, as well as more in tune. I'm talking to not just you. I know you're quite in tune. I'm talking to the listeners out there. The more in tune you get, the more you can listen to your body. You'll start to understand that, and it's something people as well. It's like the crabs in the crab bucket, right? Someone starts stepping out of that. Do you know about the crabs in the bucket? You probably do.
No, tell me.
So, like, when say the crabs get caught in a bucket, in a trawler, for example, if a crab tries to get out, the rest of the crabs will pull them back down. It's like a phenomenon they've done studies on it. It's madness, and it's like you're trying to get away from the herd. They don't like it, so they pull you back down. So a lot of people, if you're in say you're with friends and you talk about this sort of stuff, and they might laugh or think that you're mad, etc. But it's just because you're operating at a high frequency to them, and it's something that it will happen as you live a healthier life. There's so much dumbing down of society these days through trash TV, through whatever they put in the water, through terrible food choices. As you mentioned, one of the reasons why I'm basically 90% vegan myself. I say that. I have a little bit of meat, but the meat I have is high quality, and all the food I have is organic. And so when you're having these meats that I was talking about with people, when you're having these meats that are being fed foods they should never eat, foods that they're not allowed legally. In America, it's even worse for you guys, right? They're not allowed by law to feed you this stuff. Like petroleum pellets, like sawdust, like rendered food. You don't even know what rendered food is, but they can feed the cattle that, and then the cattle eats it, and so you're eating a diseased animal that's been absolutely mistreated. They're also in their own feces. They then spray the chicken, for example, with ammonia or chlorine now, because instead of just feeding the cows grass and all the E. coli die naturally, let's just like feed them corn and soy and rubbish and rendered crap, and then we can just like spray loads of chlorine and ammonia over it to sterilise it. That works. Everything they do is just not in concordance with nature. It's all to do with the industrial thing, but we won't go too much into that because I can tell I've ranted for about 10 minutes now. But
another day.
But I'm just saying what you said there. It's just.
I'll tell you, I like that. I think of the same concept two ways. One is misery loves company. When people are living a certain way and they don't want you to leave and to feel good. So, and then the other one is behavior is contagious. So you're sort of the average of everyone that you're around, and so behaviors, not only like the way that you eat, your attitude, smoking, the clothes that you wear, every behavior is contagious. So if you are around people who are acting in a certain way that is disruptive or destructive, to themselves, you have to figure out a way to get out of that crab bucket, so to speak.
100%. What you said there as well, behaviour is completely contagious. I know you can work in both ways. I mean, I know if I'm around the table and I go out, I'm part of like a business mastermind. I worked in business stuff, and we go out. We were in Barcelona the other day, and around the table, and everyone's sitting next to me, they start, because I always order a salad or I always order lots of greens, and they're like, I've got to have. Everyone's like, look, everyone's having greens because of Ryan. I was like, look. At the end of the day, if that's my influence on you, that's not a bad thing, right? They're like, yeah, it's true, and it is, and they start doing it. Or you've got the other thing about the clothes as well. It's amazing. Like you start hanging around people that dress really well. It's amazing, and then that can affect your confidence, right? You feel dressing better, you feel better, and it's like these things. So, as you said, hang around people that are making better choices for themselves. It's just going to mean that you start to. People tend to. Raise themselves to the level that they're surrounded by, right? It's why, and so that's why you want to be the dumbest person in the room, because then you're surrounded have cleverer people, and for example, or the poorest man in the room, so you can surround yourself by people that know how to make money and make an impact in the world. No, 100% agree with what you've just said there. That's really good, because you've probably done it yourself, probably in the line of work that you guys are in. You're probably changing people's lives every day by giving them this information, and just by being on your site, just by listening to your videos. That's as simple as it can be. They're surrounding people. You become part of someone's life, and you might not even know it, Lenny. How many people that listen to your videos, but you become a big part of someone's life, and that's a really positive thing you're doing.
I'm getting the chills hearing you say that. No, it's really true, and that's why we do what we do. To have the reach and to make a positive impact on people's lives. No,
awesome. So Lenny, if people want to find you or contact you, they want to find you, it's at www.lifeisnoyoke.com. If anyone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way? I mean, you guys are on Instagram as well, right?
Yeah, we're on Instagram and we're on YouTube. There's contact information on our site, lifeisnoyoke.com. We have email, we have it all. I mean, pick your choice, but the bottom line is we'd love to connect. We'd love to hear from you. If you try one of our recipes and love it, we'd love to hear a comment from you. That, as I'm sure you can relate to, Ryan, that's what makes the days doing what we do great, is hearing people's feedback and connecting, making that connection, that human to human connection with people that appreciate our work.
Oh, 100%. It's something that, as you said, it's your life work. It's something that gives you self-fulfillment. There's lots of people out there making loads of money, but they hate their job, they have no self-fulfillment, and they end up coming to someone like probably yourself or me, because it's like there's no fulfillment. When you actually do get it, it's very, very, as you say, it makes you very humble sometimes. It's very privileged as well, to be able to help people out of that. So guys, that's where you can find Lenny and his wife. Go on their site, have a look. I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying her name again and getting it wrong. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Lenny. And thanks for coming on. Hopefully, let me know when that code comes out for the guys in the UK, and we'll get it all set up, and obviously I'll send people to your site for the recipes, etc.
Fabulous.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon. I'll get you on another time.
Sounds good. We'd love that. Thanks, Ryan.
Awesome. So, guys, that was Lenny Gale from www.lifeisnoyoke.com. I'm sure you got lots out of that episode, actually. It was really fun talking to him. I know I went off on a little bit of a rant, like I always do, on certain things, but he's a really cool guy, really nice guy, and as soon as we get those codes out for the Vitamix, then we'll get them off to you, and I'll make them known, and see what we can do in terms of getting you guys good deals for different products. There's a few different things that I've actually got something for the Horum juicer as well. I've actually got a code for that. If any of you guys think you get £50 off of that, it's a brilliant juicer, one of the best juicers out on the market, something I really recommend. So if you want a code for that, something you can send me an email and I'll give it to you, and you get £50 off of that product. And I want to do something similar for you guys with the Vitamax juicer, because I know they can be expensive, but they are a lifetime investment and they're absolutely phenomenal. It's one of one of probably the only two that I'd actually buy in terms of that range, because I said before, it's an investment, and once you buy for life. So it was a really great show with Lenny, and I'll try and pop over and see him, and we can make videos, etc., and get them out to you guys. We'll get them back on again whenever they get new recipes up, and head on over to his site, www.lifeisnoyoke.com, for all the recipes, etc., and I'll put the links to 2 different recipes in the show notes about the wild rice and then the soup, etc., so you guys know where you can go. So it was a really good show. In terms for next week's guest, I've got a few people lined up. I don't know who I'm putting in next. I'm gonna make it a little bit of a surprise. So as always, guys, any questions you've got regarding anything, send an email to me at ryan@reviveyourself.co. You can always head on over to www.reviveyourself.co as well. Check out any articles, anything we've got going on. And as I said before, guys, if you got a health issue and you need some, if you've got a chronic issue and you need some help, then our free 4-day mini course is going to explain exactly what's going on and what you can do to help yourself get through that. If you want any information on that, as I said before, send me an email, once again at ryan@reviveyourself.co, just head on over to the website. Or if you know that you're really struggling and you want some one-on-one help, then you can always send me an email there, and we'll get book you in a free 20-minute health audit, and we'll see what we can do. Been doing this for 9 years now, guys, so any chronic issues you've got, don't worry, we can definitely fix you. And I just want to let you know, your body has got an innate ability to heal itself. So if you're going through something, don't worry. It's natural state is health. You just have to give it the right circumstances. So it's a really interesting episode there with Lenny. Touch on a few different topics, and a few different topics I actually want to make on podcast myself, especially around that crab in a bucket and stepping out of the norm and out of society, what everyone wants you to be like. Because once you actually do start living a healthy life and you actually start vibrating at a high frequency, then things begin to change. You start to attract different people into your life, and as you said, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So who are you spending time around the most? I'm telling you, if you start hanging around people that are successful, that are driven, they're ambitious, that are happy, that are healthy, that want to be creative, that want to achieve stuff, that are doing the things they love, that's going to be what you're going to gravitate towards doing that yourself. If you're around negative people, that's going to be the same thing. You know, as you said, misery loves company, and it's no surprise that successful people seem to go around in the same circles. Obviously, I'm not saying get rid of all your friends, but there's different horses for courses, and you just know what you need and when you need it from your friends. But also, guys, as I said before, Get us. You can start following us at Revive Yourself on Facebook. That's the page. We've got lots of articles in there as well. Always active in there. You just type Revive Yourself into the search bar and it should come up my little logo, the same ones you got in the podcast, the blue me out drinking a smoothie. And you can follow us at Revive_yourself on Instagram. That's just a thumbprint logo. You'll be able to find us. Anything else, guys? Also, we've got our YouTube channel. You can start following that now. Going to start making more longer videos on YouTube. Things all around gut health, digestion, caffeine, movement. I'm going to do a lot more of that as well, guys. And also, I'm trying a new 8-week program. It's going to be group based, which is going to be going for a lot cheaper than our one-to-one stuff, because I know that a lot of people need helping out there, and I want to make it group based, and I really feel that same as in the 4-day mini course. Groups really do start to pull each other through, push each other through. When it's a community, it's great. You get different Q&As, get people helping each other through. If I can help more people, it's brilliant. Obviously, if you really want to work myself one-on-one, different issue, but otherwise, groups are going to be brilliant, because it's going to allow us to really help each other move forward. And you're going to get some great results. It's all going to be structured and automated, so you can just move through it. So that's what I'm working on soon, guys. But anyway, that's it for this week. Any questions you got, as I said before, don't hesitate to give me an email. Otherwise, guys, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll speak to you next week.
If you're struggling with gut issues, such as gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, heartburn, and want to finally be able to eat the foods you love without the crippling after effects, then don't forget to head over to reviveyourself.co and pick up your free copy of The Healing Health Paradigm today.